The Crithian Empire had ruled the Andromeda sector for 3,000 cycles. Their war fleets numbered in the millions. Their weapons could crack planets, and their dominion stretched across 47 star systems. When Supreme Commander Vector received reports of a single human vessel entering Imperial space, he laughed, a sound like grinding metal. One ship? He hissed to his Janju officers. Deploy a patrol squadron. Capture it. I want to see what these humans look like. But the human ship, a sleek corvette designated Defiance Echo, did not wait to be captured. Captain James stood on the bridge, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic display. Around her, the crew worked in practiced silence. She was young for a captain, barely 30 standard years, but her reputation had been earned in blood and fire across a dozen covert operations. They're launching interceptors, reported Lieutenant Hazel from the tactical station. His fingers danced across the console, calm despite the approaching enemy. 48 fighters, 3 destroyers. Let them come, James said softly. Execute Protocol Phantom. The Defiance Echo shimmered and vanished, not cloaked. The Crithians had sensors that could pierce any known cloaking technology. No, the human ship did something far stranger. It jumped through a fracture in space-time itself, a microscopic wormhole that snapped shut behind it. The Crithian squadron found nothing but empty void. Supreme Commander Vector did not laugh when the human ship appeared over Crithia Prime, the Empire's throne world. He did not laugh when it broadcast a message across all Imperial frequencies in perfect Crithian. Surrender your war fleets. Release all subjugated species. You have 12 hours to comply. He certainly did not laugh when his own flagship's weapon systems failed to lock onto the impudent vessel. Destroy it, Vector roared. Deploy everything. The orbital defense network activated. 300 plasma batteries, missile silos, ion cannons. Enough firepower to sterilize a continent. They fired as one. The human ship flickered through space, appearing and disappearing in rapid succession, each jump calculated to the nanosecond. Every shot missed, and with each jump, Defiance Echo left something behind. Small metallic spheres that drifted innocently in orbit. Captain, all charges deployed, Hazel reported. Network is active. James allowed herself a thin smile. Broadcast the second message. Across the Empire, on every ship, every station, every military installation, the same message played. This time it was Hazel's voice, steady and cold. You believed you faced one ship. You were wrong. The spheres activated. They were not bombs. They were quantum relays, each one a node in a network that stretched across dimensions. And through that network, reality itself seemed to tear open. One by one, human ships emerged, not dozens. Not hundreds. Thousands. The human fleet had been hiding in folded space in the quantum foam between dimensions, waiting for the signal. Dreadnoughts the size of moons, carrier groups bristling with fighter craft, cruisers armed with weapons the Crithians had never conceived of. But it was the flagship that made Vector's blood turn to ice. The Indomitable, a vessel 10 kilometers long, emerged directly above the Imperial Palace. Its hull was scarred from 1,000 battles, its weapons erased dark. Not because they were inactive, but because they didn't need to power up. They were already aimed. This is Fleet Admiral Chen of the Human Confederation, a new voice announced. The ship you've been chasing for the past 6 hours was our scout. You failed to capture it. You failed to destroy it. Now you face what humanity sends when we stop scouting. James watched from her bridge as the Crithian fleet scrambled to respond. It was chaos. Ships collided in their haste to form battle lines. Defense platforms fired blindly. Their vaunted military discipline had shattered. They're not even organized, Hazel observed. Permission to feel almost sorry for them? Denied, James replied, but there was no malice in her voice. Remember the colonies they burned? Remember Proxima? She would never forget Proxima. None of them would. The battle, if it could be called that, lasted 17 minutes. The Crithians had numbers, but humans had been preparing for this moment for 20 years. Ever since first contact had ended in massacre. While the Empire had grown complacent, humanity had innovated. Quantum drives, dimensional weapons, neural-linked tactical systems that allowed human crews to think and react as one. And most importantly, humans had learned to be patient. The Imperial flagship is hailing us, Hazel said. It's Vector. He wants to negotiate, James considered this. Around her, the human fleet held position. A steel wall of retribution. Below, the Crithian throne world waited in terror. "Tell him," James said slowly, "that we did not come to negotiate. We came to ensure this never happens again. Tell him the Empire is dissolved, effective immediately. Tell him that every subjugated species is now under human protection. And tell him that if the Crithians ever raise their hand against another species, we won't send one ship next time." She paused, her eyes reflecting the stars. "We'll send all of them." The Crithian Empire ceased to exist that day. It did not fall in glorious battle. It simply ended. Dissolved by a species they had dismissed as primitive, defeated by a fleet that had appeared from nowhere. But the humans knew the truth. The fleet had always been there, hidden in the spaces between spaces, waiting. Humanity had learned long ago that the best weapon was not the one you used. It was the one your enemy never saw until it was too late. Captain James set course for home, the Defiance Echo slipping back into the quantum shadows. Behind her, the human fleet began the long work of liberation. One ship had been enough to bait the trap. The rest had been enough to end an empire.